G'day guys, and welcome back to another Wednesday night live stream. So good to have you here. We've already got quite a few in the room so far. Sorry about the time stuff up. That was the StreamYard program we're doing. They always seem to be fitting with it, updating it. But we're on track right now. So it's been a great week. And before we start and bring Jason in, please hit that subscribe button. Like this video and please share it. Our numbers are doing really well. So last week we actually got averaging another 200 views on the night, more than we normally get. So that was fantastic. So I'll bring Jason in. Here we go. Good evening, Jason, in the Peppermint Room tonight.
Yeah, mate. It's the $9.99 brothel tonight. So welcome to the club, everybody. It's good to have everyone back. Thought I'd wear the old bird shirt again, just so I know people gave me shit last week. Week before. So I thought I'd crack it out of again for the people that love it and the people that don't. So it's been another interesting week. Lots going on. Good to be back for another live stream, and a lot of people in the chat. Great to see. Building every single week. Great news.
It is. So, guys, we've had the last two nights an absolute storm where I live. It was some of the worst storms I've ever been in. And they're predicting another one in about an hour or so's time. So if I cut out, Jason will probably have to finish off. But it was been bad. My sheds have been flooded and trees down everywhere. It's just, really bad here the last two nights. And I've just had severe storm warnings come through my phone from the government. So, if something goes wrong, that'll be why.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on with the weather up there in Queensland. As they say, beautiful one day and pissing down the next, which is typical for Queensland. So we don't expect much from their weather. Bad premier, bad weather. So
yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a good night. Yeah, exactly. As Aaron said, now, guys, no giving Jason shit tonight. I'm serious. Yep. Totally agree, Aaron. These bastards, they're always on to me about, my scruffy beard or my birds on my shirt or whatever it may be. So that's all right. We can handle a little bit of a thing again. I think Aaron stuffed up the intro again as per usual, but we'll blame StreamYard for this one. So.
And how did that happen?
Well, you set it up. Anyway, so what can I do? I'm just the brains behind the operation.
Oh, yeah. You're just a hired help. Thank you very much to Lockie for the 25, kicking off these super chats tonight. So, guys, we are going to spend a bit more time because we've been requested by some of my Patreons. So, spend a bit more time trying to answer your questions. So, we will do a bit more of that, which will be great. And we got one here from Epic Flyer. Jason, he loves the John Wick poster in the background. Bring it up to the camera. Ammo fund incoming. Thank you very much.
Maybe a bit later I'll do that. I'll bring it up maybe a bit halfway through. It's just there's a company that actually makes, I can't remember what they're called. I'll let you know a bit later. I'm just going to remember what it was called. But basically that one's made out of metal, actually. It's like a thin metal, and they can either print a matte finish onto it for you or a slick finish. So you can choose what you want. They come from overseas. They get here pretty quick. You got heaps to choose from, man, like John Wick, Star Wars, man, heaps. They got like a million things and different sizes you can do as well. And you can actually, you stick these magnets on the wall and you just stick it straight on the magnet. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That's the one where it's actually part of the car series. Because remember, there's so many cars. Like down the bottom, it says the Mustang Mach 169, I think it is. So there's a bunch of those ones. I think they got some for what's that, Fast and Furious as well. They got a lot of ones for those as well, for all the cars in there with the guys standing in front of them. So you can check out those too. But Yeah, someone said good for a gong. No, you're not going to shoot that. That's a bloody good one. I've got another one too where he's got the pistol, but it's downstairs. I've still got it wrapped up. So when I sort of get into my own place that I own, which I don't own this house that I live in right now. So once I do, they're going to go up in the man cave. So we'll just leave them there until that happens.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And before we start, we would like to thank the NSC for sponsoring this episode. Thank you very much. And as you know, guys, the links are in the description. They are now a genuine reason in Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland to have a firearm. So definitely go check them out. I talked to them today, they're getting about 15 to 20 people a day signing up for the genuine reason, which is really, really good.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. I mean, genuine reasons. So if you want to put money where people are actually fighting for the gun laws, well, this is the best place to put it at the moment. So you might as well do it. Get in there and join. If you haven't upgraded your memberships, well, I don't know why you haven't. A lot of people are saying they did. So I hope you guys did. Let us know in the comments if you either got a new membership or you've upgraded your membership, or, if money's a factor, when you finish with your existing membership of the club that you're a part of, you're going to join them. Good way to go, actually, because again, we've seen some of the actions they've been doing, which is pretty good. So we're not seeing it elsewhere, and we'll always support people that are going out there and trying to make a difference, not, kowtowing to the government, okay with further bans and stuff like that. As you guys know, you've been on the stream long enough. We're not about that. So we're about overturning a lot of these laws and at least, putting up some form of resistance. For 25 years, there's pretty much been no resistance. I've written thousands of letters, don't work. You know all that. We've spoken about all this. Petitions don't work. They try and float them as if they work. But, don't be fooled, guys. Politicians don't give it two hoots about a petition that 10,000, 20, 100,000 people sign. Don't forget, guys, remember the gun laws, over 100,000 people marched on the streets of Sydney. Was it Sydney or Melbourne? One or the other. But anyway, and it didn't make a single difference. So a petition's not going to do a single thing. So don't worry about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And tactical bacon essays, genuine reason, does that mean NSC is working with pistol clubs? They don't do H license just yet, but hopefully they will, which would be very good. But for your rifles and shotguns, they definitely are. And also your category M for your crossbows. They do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, good old crossbow. I wouldn't mind one of them, but I'm in the state that bans, fun. So, anything fun gets banned.
Can't you have crossbows down there?
Not in New South Wales, no. We're crossbow free. We're fun free. Don't come here if you want to have fun. Put it that way.
Just another reason to move to Queensland. And thank you very much to Funky for the $20 donation. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, guys, we'll try it. If you send normal, we'll try and read out as many comments as we can tonight. But we'll definitely do our best to bring up, we will bring up all the super chat ones. So, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, good one here. I like to this actually brings up a good comment. Fur Reader says, yes, we've heard it, Jace. We know about it. Move on. Court battles only. Well, mate, I got to be honest, man. Most shooters don't get it. They've got to have it honestly drummed into their head 1,000,000 times over. I mean, got to be honest, man. They just don't get it. They don't join. They say they're going to do things and they don't do it. So yeah, it needs to be drummed into their head. It's just how it is, unfortunately. Let us know you've joined up. We'd love to hear if you joined up, but. Yeah, man, we've got to keep drilling it in. That's what you got to keep doing, because people just either forget about it or they start believing what they're being told by other people. Anyway, let's move on.
Yep, crossbows are banned in WA as well. Well, no surprise there. They're up to 20-odd gun bans in the last 12 months. So, Northern Territory, you don't even need a license for a crossbow. You just walk in and buy one at the sporting goods store, but not anywhere else.
Yeah, actually, NT's got some pretty good hunting up there too. A lot of some people go up there because of the Cape Barren geese as well. They go up there. I think they've still got ducks up there as well, which would be. I'd like to go up there one day and have a bit of a go. But I want to. My chip when there's COVID shit's over, which will probably be never. Should have done it before COVID. I want to go to Argentina and shoot some pigeons, or the doves, I should say, over the what do they call them? Sunflower. Yeah, like millions of these things. It's just unbelievable. Look at the videos on YouTube, Argentina dove hunting. It's man, I'm just going to spend the money and go there for like a week and just slay the doves, man, and it's going to be awesome.
Yes, that would be very interesting. But isn't it a third world country, Argentina, now?
Yeah, but it's got some fantastic hunting. You get a bird boy, you get some shells. Like I'm planning to go through about 10,000 shells when I'm there in a week. So, I'm not going half-assed if I'm going to go all the way over to sort of Cordoba, Argentina. Millions of these things in the sky on these roosts, man. It's just unbelievable. Look at the videos. It's just like hold the gun up, the guy's loading it, or he gives you a second gun, you give it to him, bang, bang, bang. Give it to him, he gives you another one, bang, bang. It's just unbelievable, like nothing you've seen.
Yep. Oh, that sounds all right.
It's like, which one do you shoot, man? Which one do I shoot? That's how good it is. So it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah. No, that'll be good. Here's one thing for anyone who is in Northern Territory. Is it legal to hunt with your pistols? This is sort of a myth. We don't know if it's a myth or what, but people do say, especially at my pistol club, oh yeah, in Northern Territory, you can hunt with your pistols. Is that true? That's something I'd like to know.
That makes way too much sense. So I'd definitely say you wouldn't be allowed to do that. It's only range use only, like all the rest of the states around Australia. I don't think you'd be allowed to do it. No. Someone said, where did it say? Jace, where'd it go? Does it say, what's a bird boy? What's a bird? No, Peter says, Jace, what's a bird boy? That's just it's like it's normally not always a kid. Sometimes it's an adult as well or a teenager, and they get your shells ready for you. It's like basically a guide, basically. They sort of sit next to you. Sometimes you even hold the gun up like that, and I don't know how they haven't got arthritic fingers, but they just go, they load it for you. You hold it up, bang, 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 you hold it up, and he's just sitting next to you. He's just feeding them in like, he's done it so many times, his fingers are probably screwed up. But, yeah, and they fetch your doves for you at the end, the ones they can find, obviously. Basically a guide. You pay them a bit extra. It's mandatory as part of the hunt. So, you're just helping the town, helping the people, the residents. And, yeah, he's basically a guide that just supports you, helps you load your guns, picks up your doves, and then you normally go back in the afternoon and, they cook for you. You got a pool. You normally hunt morning and night, or morning and afternoon, I should say. Yeah, it should be good fun. I'm going to do it one day, and I'm going to get lots of video and GoPros and shit. It's going to be awesome.
That sounds good. Colin said you can have a crossbow in New South Wales, but you need a prohibited weapons permit, but only for the use on archery range. Honestly, it's easier to get a rifle. Well, here you need to get a M license, an extra license, and pay the government overlords your money, and you can hunt if it's over 20 acres. You can take it hunting here in Queensland.
Yeah. Well, prohibited, what's that, category R. So, Buckley's are none of actually getting it. I mean, who actually would be able to get it? I mean, you said join an archery range, but I've never even seen one even at archery. Again, this is the whole problem, man. Who wants to just shoot at a range? Or was that you?
John Robert Manuel.
Yeah, well, sorry.
Property.
Sorry.
It's playing.
Once again, we talk about all the time the really bad gun laws in this country, and it does never seem to get better. Crossbows, pathetic. I'm just waiting for the day they're going to start, and I reckon they will. They're going to actually bring in archery. Your compound bows, at least your compound bows are going to have to be licensed, I reckon. I can't understand why, with all the ridiculous laws, they haven't tried and rammed that one through yet.
That's the whole point, isn't it? Got to get you to the range. That's where the organisations get the money out of you, of course. So that's the whole point, isn't it? That's why they'd never support, the people that have ranges. They'd never support, shooting your pistols on private land, because then you're not going to go and use your fees. So, we haven't read out the people of the awesome chat. That's what we normally do early on after the first, 10 minutes. So we've got the Branch Covidians, Aaron Johnson, Tasmanian Outdoor Lifestyle. There's our buddy again. He's back again. Old Andy 1234777, and very disappointed with you, aka Daniel Andrews. We did see in the paper, the imminent return of Daniel Andrews, they reckon by the end of May. So no, things have been good. Everyone's getting back to normal. Sorry, mate, just stay in the hospital bed. But welcome back, Andy. Snake the Peg, Falks to Love to Hunt, Michael Montanari, Joseph. We've got Alex, we've got Liam, Peter. We've got Joseph again, sorry, just got to go through because a lot of comments here. Sean, Raceland Majeri, MB. We've got Matt Beckham. We've got Aussie Aussie Rum Pig, must like his rum. Harps 666, Bagara Operator, again, long-term watchers of the show. Adzi, the PWC bloke. Peter as well. Peter Sadia. We've got JR, Fur Reader, Michael again. Who else we got? We've got Peter, Neil. We've got Orange Star. We've got Cliff. Cliff's back again. We've also got Retro 8477, Epic Flyer as usual. A lot of regulars. Joseph Sherman, Chris Miller. Again, also two fantastic regulars. And we're gonna hunt Chris Miller's property one day, Aaron. He's got no choice in the matter. We won't poach or anything. We'd have to be invited, but still we'll have to twist his arm a little bit. We've got Rose 123, Dallas Wood, Rob's Woodworking. We've also got Liam Cumbo's back. Tube User C1. Man, you guys come up with the funniest names, I swear. We've got Defunky Yafi, Fox 860, Rod Sweetwater's back, Mickey G, Phantom HD. Our buddy long-term viewer, Colin Penfold, is back with us again. We've also got Tactical Bacon, who we read out a bit earlier. Mitchie 116. We've also got GRS Angel Mum. Sorry, you guys come up with some crazy names, that's for sure. But yeah, welcome back, everyone. Mr. Wonderful as well. I'm just going through a lot of you guys having conversations here, so I'm just trying to find new people. And Salty, I think we read out Sean. Yeah, so again, a lot of people in the chat, and we always like to read your names out, guys. Give us a shout out because you're here having fun, and we really appreciate that. A couple more just came in. Dave Hubner, of course, a regular. Stan Mance, a regular. We've also got Laurie AS. Sorry, I think we saw Laurie last week, so welcome again. Laurie C. Henderson, Mr. Griffo, 117, Front Toward Enemy. That's a good name. I like that one, actually. And we've also got, I'm just scrolling down again, guys, MT308. That's a double. So welcome back again. Matt Abella's back again. Alistair Horn. Yeah, sorry, guys, if I've missed anyone because there is so many comments. So I do apologize if I've missed anyone. Keith Wetton's joined us as well. Sal77, Matt Cato, of course, another regular, Trevor Hill. So, and Ben Taz. Welcome, guys. It's good to have you back for another live stream. I'd like to give you a shout out to show you respect for you guys watching. So good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And we had a couple of different topics we were going to look at doing tonight that we will do in future. One, we better do a little bit more research because it could cause an international incident. But
we don't want to be sued, man. A lot of people are very like to sue these days, don't they? So we've got to be very careful.
Yeah, we don't want to start an international war that on one of the topics we're going to talk about. So we'll just have to redefine this think it over, this one. There's going to be a doozy, a real doozy. But tonight, yes, the guy who got shot his neighbour's dogs, but a pretty hot topic. There's a lot of people think he did nothing wrong, and a lot of people, of course, did. And the news stories vary quite a bit, and I've been reading from article to article. So you got to watch a lot of things to actually find out what happened. So we have the cesspit called Channel 9. We have their lamestream media news article. A little video we'll play here for just to get people up to speed on what's happened. It's only a minute 30. So we'll play that first, and then we'll go into some of the articles that actually give a little bit of a different perspective or add some extra facts that Channel 9 decided not to put in there. But first, we got Harps. Thank you very much for the $5. Pity you're not doing reviews, Aaron. The other half is looking at the new Sauer XTA in 223. Yeah, very nice rifle. Yeah, well, after, as I said, after 8 years, and these wholesalers don't even pick up the phone to talk to you or return your phone calls and give you the cold shoulder. The days of giving them free advertising is over. So I'll let other idiots push everyone else's products for free. It ain't going to be me, that's for sure. Plus, when I go out shooting, I'm just going to be shooting my own guns. But I will make some fun videos when I get some time. Unfortunately, it's been raining so much that I can't even get on the property right now. It's that bad. So we will. We'll just bring up this video so you can see what has actually happened
And while you're doing that, after the video plays, I think they're not telling us a few. I think they're telling us a few furfies, and of course, it's the media playing the anti-gun stance as per usual. So we want to get your comments, especially on rural properties. We're going to read out some of your comments because I've sort of got my idea about the situation, but you can see the way they're pushing this, the narrative, of course. What do you expect from the mainstream media? Yeah, parasites. I still think the best day in history was when Facebook banned them all. I didn't have a problem with that. I'm so upset. Zuckernut, right, had to do a deal with them and he crumbled and then let them all back on. It was like my life was so good when all these people were banned. It was just, it was fantastic. But anyway, play it whenever you're ready, dude.
Yeah, we will. Okay, bring this in.
Weren't you supposed to be doing that while I was talking?
No, you got to listen to it. They don't hear you talking while we're meant to be listening to this.
All right, let's go.
Man jogs away from the camera on John Robert Manuel's Riverton property just hours after the 72-year-old was convicted for the brutal killing of 2 family pets. Labradors Darcy and Yoda shot dead in 2018. All the Labradors had done is wander away from home.
We'd heard the gunshots on the Tuesday morning. Didn't think much of it at first because it is a rural area. You do hear them some nights and stuff.
When Brad Elson first went to his neighbour looking for his missing dogs, Manuel lied.
You could tell with his mannerisms that something wasn't quite right. So I went back there on the Saturday morning and confronted him again, and he admitted to it.
Manuel later led police to where he dumped the bodies. Mr. Elson had to break the news to his children and his wife. As a puppy, Yoda had been her birthday present.
They were playing in his garden, so we shot him. He had no stock. He's not a farmer. He was, there's so many other options.
The RSPCA says it's alarmed that Manuel thought he had the right to shoot the dogs just because they were on his property. It says the laws are clear. Wandering dogs that pose no threat to humans or livestock shouldn't be in the crosshairs of a gun. Manuel pleaded guilty to 2 counts of ill-treating an animal causing death. He was today ordered to pay $2,800 to the Elson family and fined nearly $5,000.
It's one of those things for me. I look at it and go, $5,000 isn't really a deterrent for someone like that.
Bryce Heaton, 9 News.
Yeah.
Well, yep. Before we just get into it, thank you very much, Stan, for the ammo cash for $15. Thank you very, very much.
But you better get out and make some videos now because they're, throwing your ammo cash, you bastard.
Yes, exactly.
Overcome with unbearable greed.
Yes,
my daughters.
Hear it again.
Okay, I'll turn it off. There we go. Yeah, so that was it. Definitely trying to pull on the old heartstrings. I got to go and he's got to go and tell his wife and kids and all that sort of crap. Definitely trying to go down that route.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to sort of unwrap here. Normally, let us know your comments while we're actually talking about it first. I mean, it's an interesting part that he didn't have any stock. I mean, they are right about that. What would you do? Would you say this would be the first time? I mean, they were just frolicking in his garden. I mean, I think I'm going to say, listen, there's an onus on the owner to make sure you know where your dogs are, especially on rural land, guys. You want to make sure you know where your dogs are at all times. That's just common sense. Listen, if they were just playing in his yard, should he have shot him? I probably wouldn't have at the time. If you keep it, this is the problem though. Let's say this was not the first occasion and they're not locking up their dogs and they're on the property. Obviously doesn't really have enclosed fences that dogs aren't going to be able to get through, and they're constantly on the guy's property. What do you eventually do? Do you report it? Are the council going to do anything about it? Are they going to find the people? I mean, there's a lot to it. If I had stock and they're attacking the stock, I would not hesitate to shoot them straight away. Again, if he had basic stock on his property, like a few lambs or something like that, or a few sheep, or even his own dog, because don't forget, most people think, well, they are pretty friendly, Labradors generally. But if you see a Labrador rev up, man, it's not a good thing, I'm telling you. I've seen one going nuts before, and it was like bloody Cujo from that Cujo movie, right? They can really fire up Labradors. Don't worry about that. And they can do a lot of damage. So, again, the way they sort of framed it, well, they were just there for fun, frolicking in his yard, just doing, innocent little dogs, which may very well be the case, and he might have shot them the first time around. But I just can't see a normal, reasonable person with a firearms license shooting those dogs the first time they were in his property. Most average people wouldn't do that unless they had stock and they're around the stock, and of course you would expect that to happen. But again, obviously if you've got animals, it's common sense to make sure your animals don't roam off your property. That's your responsibility as a good owner, and him as a gun owner should have been more responsible as well to make sure at the time, you were doing, if you were going to do it, you're doing what was right. But surely you also knew you're probably going to get in trouble if you don't have any stock. So it's really a bit of a mixture here for me. I mean, I was just thinking, shit, I wonder what he shot him with, what sort of rifle he would have bloody shot him with. Would it be 308 or something, or a 223, or, we don't want to say what caliber for Labradors is or anything like that, but, that's just wrong. But, listen, give him an opportunity. But the first time, but the second time, if they're constantly on your property and people don't have a care for where their animals are, well, obviously they don't really care too much about their animals and where their animals are and what they're doing. So anyway, that's my cup of tea. I just wanted to let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have shot him the first time, but I want to know how many times did he ever go talk to the owner? Was the owner just didn't care? Did anything like that? Because you see this sort of thing does happen a lot. And Dallas Wood here, thank you for the $5. A guy shot my dog years ago when I was 16 on land with no cattle. Well, that's not very good either. But I am a firm believer. Lock your dogs up. I'm a huge dog lover, but lock your dogs up. Don't let them roam on people's property under any circumstance. How many times has this happened? And did he confront the neighbour in the past, saying, "Hey, look, getting a bit sick of this. Your dog is what is on my property, causing a bit of havoc." Because what they didn't tell you in that article was, here we go, is the guy was a 72-year-old man. They left that out, so people were just thinking that he was just some young nut job with a gun license. So yet they left him out, left that out that he's a 72-year-old man. He probably had enough. Hey, who knows? They could have read up against him. None of these articles have actually really approached the guy and asked for his side of the story as well. This is the sort of stuff that they've just read out from probably the court proceedings. From what he said, he thought he had the right to do it. And I dare say a lot of this stuff has been cherry-picked. But it happened 2 years ago.
One of the dogs is named Yoda. Obviously, the force didn't help it in this situation, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this happened in
people's.
This happened in South Australia, and of course, a bit ironic when the RSPCA get involved. They are the biggest murderer of dogs. They put down hundreds of dogs from what I hear every week around the country, and here they're complaining about some guy who shot a dog on his own private property, and yet they put down so many dogs every week themselves.
Oh, man, there's hundreds of thousands. I mean, I know that I got one just down the road from me. I remember I spoke to her ages ago. They put down 1,000 a week. This is in Western Sydney sometimes. They've got a lot of these dogs. They can't rehome them. No one, it sucks what it is. And stupid, again, it comes down to stupid owners, man. Stupid owners. They buy a dog or a cat or some animal for their kid, and their kid gets sick of it after a week. They think they can just dump it on the street. Like, you're just a bad person if you do that sort of thing, man. It's a lifelong commitment. It's like a family member. So, I get this guy thinks, this is bad, and basically shot a family member. But again, it's up to you to know where your dogs are at all times, especially on rural properties. Anyone will tell you that. But yeah, like I said, he didn't have stock. That's probably where he's actually going to be coming unstuck here. But again, they're not going to tell you the full story about why he did it. Again, if he did it just the first time without provocation, yeah, he's probably definitely wrong and perhaps a little bit of a nut. I would have obviously tried to contact the owners and go, listen, mate, these dogs are on my property, listen, you need to keep them locked up. And, unfortunately, a lot of people rurally, they do get blasé. They do get blasé with their dogs. They just let them run around and they end up. I mean, I saw this one, guys, on a state forest Facebook hunting group just the other day. And someone took a photo and one looked like a Kelpie, and it was a beagle. And luckily the owner who lives opposite the state forest, this is just over the other side of the mountains, actually got on there and someone said, do they know who these dogs are? And someone's going, mate, well, it looks like they're feral, shoot them. That's what a few people were saying. But then the owner got on and goes, oh, thanks, guys, basically for not shooting them because apparently the beagle basically leads the Kelpie astray and they end up here and there and everywhere. But it seems like, again, even the way the owner was talking, who lives opposite the forest, that this was an ongoing occurrence, that the dogs are always running amok and running away. So Again, one time it's just going to take one stupid thing or one thing to go wrong. Luckily, a beagle's generally not, I've never seen any wild beagles running around. Hey, never say never. But, again, you just got to think, if you're in a state forest especially and you border a state forest and you got your dogs in the state forest, man, you are really asking for trouble unless there's a no dog shooting policy. But again, not always going to be a beagle. Could be a couple of rough bitses or something, or just a couple of animals we don't know the makeup of, or the what would you call it, the breed of the animal. So just got to be careful, man. You got to take a look at your dogs, guys. And again, I'm not justifying him for shooting him. I wouldn't do that straight away. If I knew they were his dogs, maybe he didn't know they were his dogs. Who knows? I mean, a lot of investigation here. We don't really know what happened, and of course, Channel 9's going to push a story and to try and, make firearms owners look bad. And I wonder if he would have lost his gun license over that. What do you guys reckon in the comments? Let us know. I reckon it's a fact to lose his gun license. I mean, it's a bit of a sad situation, really, all round. But
yeah, well, here is something else.
This is Brand Gideon said he was 72. Maybe he thought they were a couple of boars. Well, one was black, I think we saw it. One was black and, one was white. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, well, here's Channel 7, and it goes a bit further on. He goes, the 72-year-old man maintains he was entitled to shoot the dog because they were damaging his vegetation. The magistrate said Manuel, who now suffers from advanced dementia, made an error of judgment. Well, I'm sorry if the dogs keep coming on the property. Just look after your dogs. Know where they are. Don't let them roam. I think there's a lot more to the story than what all these news articles are saying. So if they're getting on his property and destroying it, and he's talked to the landowner, the dog owners before, and he just blasé and doesn't do anything about it, then I don't think he's in the wrong myself. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the law, and the law is the law, I guess. But lucky he got away with the fines, $4,900 and to pay the government, and $2,800 to pay the dog owners, which I think is ridiculous.
In New South Wales, I don't know, said animal cruelty is an excludable offence. So obviously just a fine, guilty. I don't know. You might not get a DPI license to go hunting in state forest. I'm not 100% sure on that. But, definitely would have, I don't know if that would be an excludable offence from holding a firearm. So normally things like drugs, assault, being in prison for a long time, those types of things are generally, excludable offences. But, I mean, it's a tough one. I know farmers like that, dude. They got livestock. I know a guy down, where I hunt the ducks and so forth, and really, really nice guy. But he makes it abundantly clear, if your dog, even his neighbour, he gets on really well, because if your dog's on my property and they're on my stock, they will be shot. So make sure they're not, around my stock. So they know. And normally the owners down there, especially if one seems to get out, they understand that if that did happen, well, it's not the fault of the stock owner. That they know the situation, because often they're farmers themselves in some type of stock, cows, sheep, whatever it may be. So, always err on the side of caution, guy. Remember, you can always not pull the trigger. Think about it before you do something stupid. I've seen dogs in state forest, and I could have shot them. I could have, but I just erred on the side of caution. These ones were running through a state forest, and I waited. They came up around this area. I could see them for about 100 meters. They came up around the road. When I say road, it was like dirt road in the back middle of a forest somewhere. So technically, I could have stood off the side of that. It's two lines on a track, and technically shot them, but I just erred on the side of caution. Could have been an owner. I didn't know that was there. I was about 400 meters from a main road, 300 meters from a sort of mainish road. So I just, again, erred on the side of caution. I'd rather not have the issues, But again, if it's ongoing, again, take care of your dogs. Take care of your dogs.
Yep, exactly. So definitely, it's one thing you just I would never. I've had dogs and I've never let them wander around the streets and that. I live in semi-rural, and I've just always maintained, because I know a few dogs around here have gone missing in the past, and people always say, there are people around here. There's farms and that down the road, but we see them all the time around here. People's dogs, all breeds as well, wandering around the streets. And we've got quite a big problem with rogue horses here. People letting their horses nibble on the front lawn, and they somehow get out and they're just wandering around the streets. It's a big problem around where I live. So
someone was too. The issue I found just now that I'm thinking about it, he said, we heard gunshots. If you're a rural area, that would be common fare pretty much day to day. So again, I don't think they're telling you the whole truth, because it'd be like, well, we heard a couple of gunshots. We automatically thought he shot our dog. So A, you would have known your dogs were out. B, you already know that it was probably going to be him. So again, it really doesn't paint a good picture from really all involved, does it really? That for him to assume that, the gunshots are his, B, the gunshots are now associated with his dog. Like, you would, if your neighbor was good, who would think, I heard gunshots, just that, did my neighbor shoot him? You may think that, but if you've got a good neighbor with a good relationship, you would assume, I heard gunshots, but my neighbor wouldn't shoot those dogs. So again, I just don't think we're hearing the entire story. I don't think I think there's more than meets the eye, but all parties definitely could have acted probably more appropriately, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely think there is more to it. So Ken, not Ken G, GK, would never shoot a non-aggressive dog. Well, I actually watched a documentary years ago on dog attacks and dogs actually attacking people and everything. And the vet told me, and the doctor told in the documentary, and a doctor as well, one of the most vicious attacks on a person was actually an infant, and that was by a Labrador. The most vicious attack he's ever seen was actually by a Labrador on a child.
Yeah.
You just never know. Did these? He's a 72-year-old man. Did these dogs roll up to him at all in the past as well? They didn't ever say anything like that. Did they ever go at him in the past? So who knows?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he did with him. Like, again, it just doesn't make sense. Like, all of a sudden he approaches the guy. That's the only person he approached about shooting the dog. So, yeah, I don't think we're ever going to hear the whole story. Of course, we're probably going to hear the sob story. But, I mean, all parties, like I said, could probably act much better in this situation. And, again, do all you need to do. Ring the police, ring the council, talk to the owners, document it, That's what you need to do, because you're not going to get away with it if you're not documenting this sort of stuff. If you, even though he doesn't have stock, but he wonders if he had dogs of his own, cats, birds, whatever it may be, maybe a couple of sheep for meat sort of thing. And, again, all he would just say is, okay, they were going to attack my sheep, so I shot them. End of story. It would have been no problem whatsoever attacking his livestock. So, or putting his animals in jeopardy. Again, I always make sure when I got a dog, things get out, but this is an ongoing thing. You got to fix the problem. You got to fix the problem of the dogs getting out as well. So it's like, it's almost similar to, people going on and robbing people's homes, and then they end up getting shot like they do in America and claiming, well, he was a good kid, he shouldn't have been shot. Well, don't rob and loot. I'm not saying dogs are robbing and looting because they're not that smart, but
exactly. Here's Joseph. I'd imagine it's not the first time the dogs were on his land, and I reckon the owners essentially told him shove his property up his pooper. Yeah, well, you never know. You never know. He may have seen the old guy as just a whinging old fool. What are you going on about? They're just two dogs.
Yeah, well, they're not to be.
Probably just got jack of it, and that was that.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe, exactly. Well, you don't know. There's so much to the story we don't know. They're going to play the sob story, the gun-owning sob story. But again, like I always say, guys, before you pull the trigger, err on the side of caution. You don't always have to pull the trigger, right? So that's something, a lot of us probably need to learn. We don't always have to pull the trigger, on every animal we see, maybe on private property, deer hunting, for example. You want to, maybe pick up the deer next year or the year after if you're the only one that hunts the property. So always good to err on the side of caution, because, do you really want to have to be defending yourself in a court of law? I probably wouldn't, so that's for sure.
No, exactly. EMB reckons, I'm guessing long long-running neighbour issue. That's what I reckon as well. They've had words before about it, and the guy just didn't care. That's what I reckon. That's for sure. We've got a few super. Oh, geez, the comments, hundreds of comments here. So I'll just try and get down to the super chats. Jeez, wherever they are. Our good old friend M. Trundle for the Ammo Fun Boys, $10. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. And here's a question that I've been asked actually quite a bit about in comments. Chris Miller, did everyone see the 50 cal explosion? Yes, from Scott on the Kentucky ballistics. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Some pretty bad injuries there, that's for sure. Lucky to be alive by the sounds of it. If he hadn't blocked off his main artery in his neck, he would have been dead. I think he had 1 pint of blood left in him.
Interesting question too. Someone, I don't know if anyone was mentioning it, but Dave Curtis said he pulled the trigger on like a pit bull. What is it? The breed was different. Do you reckon breed has a lot to do with it? I mean, someone goes, a couple of Labradors, they're not going to do any damage. But then what if it was a couple of shepherds or a couple of pit bulls or something like that? Would the RSPCA and the police be acting in a different nature? Or heaven forbid, a couple of Shih Tzus, or say, hey mate, I've seen these little buggers get narky. When they get a bit uppity, these little Shih Tzus, man, that's for sure. A couple of Foxies, even they can have a go too. A couple of Jack Russells, man, you never know. Pig dogs, as Liam said just then, yeah, absolutely. Does breed have a lot to do with it? Would they have gone easy on him if it was, say, a different breed? But again, all animals can turn at some stage on their owners. They just have a bad day. They are dogs. They do have a brain, but as well. So sometimes simplistic animal with a simplistic brain can get fired up some days. So hey, it's like human beings, really. Hey.
Yeah, well, tell us in the comments. Would you guys shoot a poodle? A little puffy poodle that was on your property. Sound off in the comments. I want to know.
What? Is it around the livestock or what? My mum used to love poodles. We owned a poodle, man, for 20 years or 15, 17 years. So I don't know about poodles, man. My mum used to, put the little bow in its hair. Oh, it was pathetic. It really was, but she loved it. So, what do you do?
Hey, they can give you a nasty bite, a little nip on the ankle. Mate, that's assault.
Yeah, by poodle. Said, the poodles can be quite aggressive. Yeah, any animal can be aggressive. There's no doubt about it. I mean, depends on the day. Is it around food? I just wouldn't have. As much as people say, listen, if it's a small dog, I just wouldn't have animals like that, cats or dogs, around newborn babies and so forth. And a lot of people don't know. People have almost been caught out for this. You're out in the forest, you go hunting, you've got a 1 to 2 year old baby and it starts crying, mate, a fox will nab that baby given the opportunity, I can tell you. So be very careful when you're out in the bush with newborn babies and they're crying. Foxes love that and they're happy to start chewing their eyes out, biting their tongues out and so forth. And if you haven't just left you left a tent open because the baby's, you think, sleeping, well, or it's having a bit of a cry, all of a sudden a fox just starts chewing on its neck and head. So just be very careful. These things can happen. I mean, we've heard of very, very close stories. I think there's one from even in England. I think Field Sports Britain. They do it in the city or close to a city outskirt. They have a fake baby in a stroller, and they put like a crying sound. But the fox comes up, pulls the bloody little thing down, the little blanket, and then ends up grabbing it and trying to bloody run away with this bloody fake doll. So check out that. It's Field Sports Britain. Just type in something like fox takes baby or doll or something. It'll definitely come up, mate. These things don't muck around, eh? So
yeah, well, dingoes eat babies as well. Look at the Chamberlain case.
That's right. I wonder if she she got off, so I guess she apparently didn't do it. So I don't know. I mean, would it surprise them? And then again, maybe they did. Maybe it did happen. I mean, who knows?
Here's something I was thinking about as well.
Hang on. Jason Pilfoot, the poodle took my baby.
Yeah. Rustin, hole in the fence, fix the fence. That's what I was just thinking before. How did these dogs get in? Because in the video they showed quite a well-locked gate. Did the dogs keep digging holes underneath the fence to get in? That could be another thing.
Yeah, but most of them aren't like chain mesh. They're like most of the ones really on the farms have got like a single piece of wire, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 3, sometimes one top, one middle, one bottom. So not enough for, say, sheep to get out, but or 4 of them, but dog
But
might just basically stand straight through it.
But it's not a farm, though. They said that. That's why it got done.
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you do? I guess? I mean,
it'd be interesting to know how they got in.
The fence, probably, because they're probably million way. How big's their property? Probably a million ways to get into the fence. I mean, most, unless you got, was the other guy, the dog owner, was he running stock? If he wasn't running stock, then probably it was only ordinary fencing. Dog just walks over and goes underneath the fence. So, you think you'd have a backyard fenced off area or something on the property, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. And Retro 8477, thank you for the $10. Ammo fund and bunny busting video from Jason.
I'm going away in a couple of weeks. My parents moved, so they've moved to Port Macquarie on the mid-north coast after 14 years in Queensland. So going to go visit them for a week, and then I've got a hunting trip on the deer for the the June long weekend. But yeah, I went there retro in, I don't know, it would have been February or March. No, March it was. And I was so hurt. I could have died because basically one of the viruses took out pretty much the whole rabbit population on the farm. I didn't, on any of the warrens, I did not see a single rabbit. It's in 3 months completely wiped out. I'm shattered, actually, to be brutally honest with you. Hopefully they bounce back. We did see a few on the property down the bottom, so hopefully they move up. I did get to shoot that pig, but unfortunately the bastard ran into the blackberries, so unfortunately that wasn't to be. But what do you do? Hopefully I can get back there soon, man. And I've got my mate that lives in the local area down there, so he'll keep an eye on the numbers, and hopefully within a couple of years they've bounced back. Good, which is good for us, but unfortunately, not good for the farmer. But now that they're all gone, the farmer's pretty happy. But he said you can still come anytime. We don't care. Just come and have fun.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. Yeah, I'm hoping to get out west again over winter sometime with a few mates and go to a bit of shooting, bit of feral pest control, which will be awesome, especially now all the rain has been and everything's green and lush again. And it should be good.
This is a good one too. One thing from C. Henderson is you have to remember too, Jess, no rabbits on the property is good for farmers. Yeah, absolutely. That's the hardest part, isn't it, really, for us, because we love shooting and they just want to get rid of them, which I totally understand. But, that's the hardest part, isn't it? It's a bit of a balance between us shooting out all of the rabbits on the property. Even if we could do that, it probably wouldn't be possible, obviously. But yeah, the virus has just taken them out, and disappointing for us, obviously. But yeah, great news for the farmer. That's true, and it's a bit of a fine line, isn't it, between us having enjoyment and fun, and them losing stock by standing in those rabbit warren holes and losing the stock or the cows, and because on that property it's mainly cow, and he has lost a couple. So good news for him. Not so good news for us, unfortunately.
Here's another thing that I was thinking about. They could have been on his property at night, so they never mentioned when they were shot. He heard them in the yard thinking they were wild dogs and shot them. And maybe he realised in the morning, oh, geez, I've shot the neighbour's dogs. You never know. They didn't tell when they were shot. Probably highly unlikely, but it's one scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of missing detail. The whole thing was the poor pooches, and yeah, I mean, I don't know who likes to see dogs. I like dogs, but I'm also, again, on rural properties. But they go, well, you don't have stocks, therefore there's no reason for you to do it. Well, we also have a right, not to have people's animals, and otherwise, what's stopping me from just saying, hey, I'm just going to come through your front door and go to your wife or girlfriend's, pantyhose drawer or whatever, mate, you got no problem, mate, no issue. Just let me come into your house. I mean, come on, guys, we do have a right to have a certain amount of privacy on our property, and not for people to come in and onto our property when they're uninvited. So again, I still wouldn't do it. I'd do all I could to try and stop the matter first before taking any action. But again, if you don't have stock, you can't take any action. That's where he should have had some stock or something on his property. So at least chickens. At least chickens, they look after themselves, basically.
Yeah, exactly. A few people have been talking about the poodle. Who's going to shoot a poodle? And here we go. MB. Toy poodle for sure, just for being it.
MB, you bastard.
Daniel Andrews, would I shoot one? Damn right. When it's the season starting, and what's the bag limit?
Oh, God. Well,
unless it has rabies.
Not many people, unless they're a bit funny, would buy poodles anyway. But, I mean, my mum loved the poodles. We had one for a long time, like I said. And, you know, again, I've never seen a wild poodle. I mean, they probably wouldn't last in the bush anyway. They're a bit too prim and proper to be lasting in the bush. But, hey, any breed can last in the bush if it becomes wild. So, you know, they're forced to survive, and they breed with the other animals and the other dogs, and, you know, then you got all these pits with 10 different animals in these wild dogs. You don't know what type of dog it is after a while.
Yeah, and his Mitchie, I'll shoot a chihuahua. Those things are nasty.
Jesus.
Yeah,
like I said, we're not condoning the innocent shooting of animals. So,
yeah, poodles are not fair game. They're not game animals. That's for sure.
That's right. Yeah, no chihuahuas. But I've seen a few narky chihuahuas in my time. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, Matt Cato, here's one for you, Jason. Thanks for the donation for Jace to put towards a new shirt.
Well, I did wear it for you, Matt. So there you go. And all the other guys that didn't like it. I was thinking this afternoon, should I change it? I thought, nah, you guys are going to get the old bird shirt. It's like a Twitter. It almost feels like I'm part of Twitter. It's like a little bird, like a little, what do they call those ones with a little tail, like a willy wagtail?
Yeah. Like a woodpecker or something?
No.
Hummingbird?
I was going to say a swallow, but that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. Matt, Matt C for Jace. For another bloody shirt.
God.
Yeah.
Super chats over my shirt. All right, I'll change it for next week, you bastards.
Oh, well, we should try and get hold of this old guy and start. Yeah, it'd be good if there's someone getting hold of him, find out what caliber and what he shot it with, and how close and what was the holdover, the windage, the whole 9 yards.
I don't think he's got dementia. He probably doesn't even remember that he did it, apparently. So,
well, that will probably be a reason for them to take the license off him if he has dementia. So you notice all these news articles, they probably know this, and they're all bringing up that he's got dementia. So, I dare say they are going to knock on his door in a few days' time if he's got dementia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's probably another issue too. I mean, dementia, but I mean, is dementia a reason to take a license? I mean, it's an issue, but I mean, doesn't mean he's just going to shoot people.
Dementia. Would you trust Joe Biden with a gun? He's got dementia.
Well, he's trying to take the guns off everyone. So, you know. Anyway, let's read some more comments. Get through the comments. Let's put some people's comments up. You're lagging behind, dude. You're lagging behind.
Okay, here we go. Poodles mixed with noodles, Chinese delicacy. Yeah, well, if this Chinese war that everyone's talking about going to happen, well, we may be eating noodles and poodles soon. You never know.
I'll tell you a quick story. My mate went to Thailand. He spends a bit of time. He used to live with me for a while. One of my roommates, top bloke, Brendan, he got me into cryptocurrency. And, long story short, he was overseas. And he said, oh, man, he ordered something with his mate. And he just thought, some beef thing or something. Anyway, he ate it. And he goes, oh, it was pretty good. Mate goes, oh, by the way, you just ordered dog. You know that, don't you? And my mate was absolutely horrified. So horrified, in fact, he goes, mate, oh, shit, I got to get seconds of that. It was that good. So he was horrified for a little bit until he realized it was delicious, then ordered seconds. So, hey, never say never.
Yeah, yep. Kevin Rudd, that wasn't the one I was meant to click on first. Poodles mixed with noodles, laugh my ass off. Yeah, it is quite good. Thank you very much, Alex. And Jason, what do you think of the Hollow Sun brand and their products? Love the show. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for that. Well, I haven't used them on a gun, but I have looked through the red dots, and they seem all right. They're not as expensive as an EOTech or Aim Point, but yeah, they're not bad at all.
I'm having a look at it. Sorry, my thing. I don't know what it is, but it looks like those red dots and circle dots. Is it, or something along those lines?
Yeah, Yeah. They're all red dots. Like the aim point and that, but not as expensive. Yeah, man, I think they do the job. They're fine. Yep.
I think sometimes, man, people, you can still get stuff that's, sometimes at a good price that's still do the job for you. Sometimes I buy things and I thought, do I really need that part? I might do that particular thing, once every 2 years. Like, is it worth spending that $1,000, $2,000 more or whatever it may be to do that? So, sometimes I just, go with something a little bit cheaper and again, it's proved to be, valuable. So, hey, if you buy one, let us know. Let us know on the thing that you bought one and how it went.
Well, here's my fake knockoff EO tech that was given to me by a viewer to torture test that will be coming up soon. Probably not as good as an EO tech, of course. But we're going to see how this works. Man, it cost them $80 and this thing's solid metal. And yeah, I've used the real EO techs and they look just like this and feel like this. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that lasts. I'm going to stick that on a shotgun.
It doesn't get knocked out. I mean, and it works. I mean, what else does it do? You aim and fire, and if it holds 0 on the target and doesn't, the laser just, point of aim doesn't change, mate, I reckon you're a winner. You're a winner. So, let us know. Yeah, buy one and you can let us know if it's any good.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Rumsey, Aaron missed out. Libby has gone back to Sydney. Your thoughts on Allen gun stocks? Do they help prevent rust? Allen gun stocks. Yeah, who's Libby? I'm sorry. I can't remember. Allen gun stocks. Now I haven't tried them, to be honest. I'm gonna have to do a Google.
Here we go. Here we go. This is a good one for me. I put all my stuffs in gun stocks too, because I got a smaller safe. I think it's a 12, and I got like 8 in there, but I got a couple of the guns with the bigger scopes and so forth.
Oh.
So you can buy ones off eBay that have is it 3 or 4 inch wide, maybe 6 inch? I can't remember. They're actually a really wide gun stock for your big long range rifles and stuff like that. They work perfectly as well for just your standard hunting rifles as well. But if you've got the bigger stocks, bigger scopes, they do work a lot better. They're sort of an extra wide one. I think they do work. But what I do normally do is I buy, and maybe I'll share it in a minute. I'll share, Alan. It's going to call. I've got Alan Gunstock on the mind, but Aaron, when he shows these things, basically, I use Inox and Lanox, or sometimes I don't even use Lanox. There's a new one out from Lanatech called Steel Seal. It used to be called UP or Ultimate Protection by Lanotech. It's not as sticky as your standard Lanox. It's a derivative of lanolin, so you can use it under your 4-wheel drive. You use it on your trailer. It's not really used for like lubrication and so forth. It's just a rust preventative. So Steel Seal, it's called, from Lanotech. So I buy those in like a 5-liter packet in a bottle. You get normally a spray bottle with it as well. I normally have a rag that, like, from Super Cheap Auto, bag of rags. I soak one rag in it and I just chuck that in a Ziploc bag and I leave it in my bag. When it needs a bit of replenishment, I spray a bit more on it and I wring it out and then chuck it back in the bag. And every time I need to wipe the guns down, pull it out of the Ziploc bag, wipe everything down, and basically back into the gun stock, back into the safe. And I've only had one issue with rust, a little bit on one of the top of the ribs I had on a shotgun. But that's probably where I touched it or something like that. Also too, another tip for you guys as well is a good one is go to Bunnings and just buy like a little paintbrush, or a fairly good one, soft bristles. I normally spray that with lanolin as well. That gets under your beads, into your shotguns, gets into all your nooks and crannies, and I just wrap it in a Ziploc bag and just like wrap it around the base and chuck it in my bag. And sometimes it falls out, but what do you do? But it gets in all the nooks and crannies, in your bolts and under your shotgun ribs, all that stuff. Just gets in all those places you wouldn't normally get it. Yeah, you can spray it in, but that gets a bit messy. So anyway, there's some tips for you guys there as well, and I'll see if I can bring it up actually on the screen, Aaron. Bring up another comment, Aaron, while I'm bringing this up.
I'm very sorry. I misread it. I thought stock, but yes, I have tried the Allen gun socks. I was given one at some show. Socks aren't really for me. I just use gun bags. I put them in the safe. In my safe, I have a bowl of rice in a stainless steel container. I put in the bottom of the of the safe, and every month I just get the rice and throw it out. Here's an interesting thing. My gun safe, when I had it inside the house, I would get rust on my 1911. Real bad, really bad. And as soon as I built my dedicated gun room, all the rust stopped. It was really weird. I don't know if it's because there was carpet down and carpet held moisture in the air. I've got no idea. But as soon as I moved it to a tiled room, not a problem. Not one bit of rust.
See if you can bring up that one for me. See if you can approve that tab. Is there one sitting there? Come on, mate. You got to review the panel. There you go, guys. That's the Lanatech Steel Seal. Right, so that you can get it for $107 there from eBay if you use the code, mate. That's some good shit. I do like that one. Also, too, you got your standard Lanox is another good one, guys. So you get a free spray bottle with this one, mate. This stuff will last you years, guys. You can use it on your boat trailers. I normally use inox in the bore. So if you're going to do it, I normally use inox. This one inside the bore, so you can buy it in the MX3 containers. Also, you can buy it again, $70. I mean, you're not going to get cheaper than that, guys. $79.90. 5 liters, it'll last you 10 years, unless you're putting it on your boat trailer. But again, if I was going to use my boat trailer or something in salt water or a bit more under your 4-wheel drive or your trailer, you do have this heavy duty stuff, the Lanatech, man. I'm 5 years after having my car brand new, I'm still getting this shit off my car, but it's good. That's what it's there for. It's doing its job. It should be. But this is the good stuff. Steel Seal. That's what I use on all my guns there, guys. So again, and gun stocks, and also Aaron, if I can just share, it's probably gone away now. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to bring something up in a sec. This is what I also put in the safe, guys. Just quickly before we go on to. Sorry, that's not the one. I'm just trying to.
I don't spray anything on my guns because I do find whenever I go shooting, when I sprayed G96 and stuff like that on it, it has collected a bit of dust every time I go out. So I just don't do anything anymore.
Yeah, just to prove this one, Aaron, for a sec. It's coming up in a second. Is that up? Yeah, do this one too, guys. They make this dehumidifier rod. Basically, it runs off power, so it's like a dehumidifying rod. So they generally work pretty well as well. So they come with like power. So I just drill a hole in one side of the safe at the bottom, run through the cord, and then just put a standard plug on it. And what they do, the same thing works with a bulb. So basically, they put us a light bulb in there, which pushes the humid air out. So I do those 3 things. Never have a problem with rust. Anyway, move on.
Yeah. All righty. You finished your rant?
Yes, finished.
Okay.
I hate rusty guns. Not like Aaron. He just chucks 10 guns on top of each other. Doesn't give a shit. He's an absolute bastard when it comes to looking after his gear.
Well, you saw my meme this week about the guns, gun scratches. JR, here, Jace, buy I love the Labour shirt. Labour Party shirt. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, JR, for that. Appreciate that. I've got so many guns now. I've got 3 safes. Got to almost lean on the door to shut it now.
Yeah, I mean, most of the ones will work. G96, and people say G96, Rem oil, all this stuff. Yeah, thanks, guys. Same thing in the comments. I used to use, and people say use those Hippo. The Hippo ones you buy from Bunnings. They suck the water into the bottom with those little granules. Listen, I don't know if people say they're good, but my only beef is, right, when it actually sucks moisture down and it sits in the bottom of that thing, the moisture is still in the gun safe. So I think I'm only going off from a physics type thing. I just think those things are a waste of money because, hey, and I used to use them too because the moisture is still sitting in the safe. So that's why I bought that golden rod. Put it on, stick it on your side of your gun safe towards the bottom. It emits a little bit of heat, almost like an aquarium one. And that way it pushes the humid air out of the safe. So normally in my safe, it's around 45 to 50 to 55, somewhere around there. It's 50s, which is pretty good. So normally about 20 or so, 30% below ambient, which is really good. So try one of those. It's called a golden rod, or you can find humidity rod on Google.
Yeah, yep. Kevin, wonder if those cheap airsoft knockoffs work well with all rifles. Well, no, they don't, because the real cheap ones do fall apart. But then I do know a guy that runs them on his 22s, and he has no problems. But there's no real kick or anything with 22s.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you about that. I don't have any expertise in that area. So,
and this is good. There's been from Matt. There's been bloke ripping people off on Oz gun sales. Be careful. Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't know. You get something like this with all the stickers and the logos on it, and people could put that up there for. These sell for like $1,000, whatever it is, $800. Someone will put $300 on a cheap eBay thing, and people will buy it because they don't know it's not real, would they?
Let us know if you got any details, man. Let us know too. I actually know Dave really well from Oz Gun Sales. Really, really nice fella. Thinks a lot like us. Rural pro gun fella. Really nice. Oz Gun Sales actually do a pretty good job. So I know him very, very well. Really nice guy. So if you got any details, man, flick him over. I'll flick him over to him because he's really nice guy. I can't say any more than that. Definitely thinks the way we do and wants the rights back and all that. And always an absolute pleasure to deal with. So. Let us know.
Yeah, Snake the Pig asked Matt, what is he selling? Yeah, tell us what he actually is selling.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be good to find out. Any more comments on the old pooches or no? The pooches thing's gone.
Pooches thing's gone. Yeah, people just don't like poodles by the sounds of it.
What, the miniature ones or the full size standard breed? Which one or both?
They're all evil. All evil. Rustin, bowl of rice at the bottom of your safe, no more moisture. Exactly. That's the cheapest, easiest way of getting out of it. I like the rod that Jason uses. A lot of people use those; they're very good. But I can't drill through my bank vault safe. I can't drill a hole through it. And also, you've got to be careful sometimes drilling holes in it because you'll ruin the fireproofing integrity of it. So that's another thing to think about.
I normally do it through the bottom. I do run it off one of those power boards with a safety switch on it, like a good one, like in my garage. So I think that was about $50, $60, one of those ones. So it wasn't cheap, that power board, but that's what I use. And, I'm not going to say do your own electrical work, but, putting a plug on it, really, I think it was only 2 wires.
No, if you drill a hole in your safe and you have a fire, it's an entry point. It's all over.
Well, we hope it's never going to be, never going to have to worry about that. But heaven forbid something like that did happen. But yeah, they just push the moisture out. So you don't need, because again, by the time you buy one of those golden rods, it depends. Again, get the one for the size of your safe. By the time you keep doing those hippo things over the years, $10, $20 here and there. You could have bought 100 of these golden rods, and they're only about maybe $70 or $80, $100. Couldn't be more than that.
Oh, yep. And Matt, Libby was his sister. Very sorry, I forgot about that, Matt. And say hello and hello to Libby from us. Thank you.
Don't forget the old silver fox over there in Queensland, aka Shooting Stuff Australia. He's a single man, so Matt. So hey, not going to say anything, but I'll let you do the
Australian Richard Gere.
Oh shit, he's up, man. He's up. Richard Gere. I was thinking more like Kevin Rudd, Kevin 07.
Jeez. No, I'm not 2 foot tall.
Not off. What else we got there? Rose. I think Rose did have one up here too. Rose mentioned a specific one. Yeah, I think I'd answered that question before. Sorry, guys. Yeah, like what happens if it goes boom? Well, hopefully, it doesn't go boom and burn down my shit down. So that's the last thing I want to happen. So they're really good. Get one, guys. I definitely highly recommend them. And you can have that on their own, but again, just remember, stainless steel doesn't equal no rust. It means it's stainless steel. Just remember that. They're not high grade stainless steel anyway, so they will get a bit of rust on them, just like blued guns as well. So probably not as bad. But hey, I've seen some pretty bad stainless steel guns rust considerably. So anyway, that's why I always recommend that 5 litre stuff, cheap as chips and lasts you a long time.
Exactly. Cliff's got the idea. Poodle a week in your safe will soak up the rust of your guns and get rid of the poodle.
Yeah. Well, they do say they've got hair like humans, the old poodle. Most people know that. They don't drop their hair either, so they're a clean pooch anyway. So which is always good. Bloody dogs dropping hair is a bit annoying all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently I've got to start a OnlyFans page. All right, make some money after 8 years. Awesome.
I don't think you get many. I don't think you get many people, man, to be honest. But Peter says here, Jason, do you know if they have why they have guns for sale from Gun City in New Zealand on used gun sales? Are we allowed to import? Yeah, I think you are allowed to import, but you just got to have the right permit. So, ring up your local registry and find out permit. I think it's only a B709, isn't it? But obviously through customs, you've got to get someone to bail customs. I did it many, many years ago with a firearm from the US. Again, I did it because it was so much more expensive than it was here, and it worked out even after everything all said and done, paying the company to release it from customs and do the customs paperwork. I think I saved about $3,000 from the new price. So I think it was about the time it was about $5,500. I think I got about $2,600. So it was a pretty darn good deal, and unfortunately too good to pass up. I'm not, made of money like most people watching the stream. So yeah.
I do know now that I'm pretty sure I was told you have to have that serial number to give them before you even send it over.
Yep. Yeah, I had to have the paperwork too in America. I went through the Attorney General's department, so I supplied that too. I think it was Euro Optic in the United States. Very, very good to deal with. Sent them all the paperwork, customs release. It went through customs, no problem. Ended up in Sydney, and straight to my local dealer, which is fine. Worked a treat.
Was that for a shotgun?
Yeah, it was for shotgun. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Too good to pass up on that price, I think.
Yeah.
Rose 1, 2, 3. I'm a Sparky. No running electricals into my safe. Well, you're going to have rusty guns, Rose. Okay, all right. You're going to have to put up with rust. I can't help you. Okay.
Not if Rose puts a bowl of rice in the bottom. It's the best way. And there we go. Hey, Jace, this is from Fox860. Hey, Jace, hope the insurance mob's not listening. Doing electrical stuff unlicensed could mean refusal on any claim from fire. Hope that never happens.
Exactly. Right, guys. I never did that. I don't have one. All right. Just letting you know that. It's a golden rod made out of hippo crystals. So we're good. We're good there. We're good.
That's it. What else?
Half Triple C said try to place an order with Optics Planet. They won't sell to Oz anymore. I did know that. I bought some stuff off them ages ago, some rails that I couldn't buy here at all. Just look around, man. There's a lot of people out there that will if you feel you want to save some money, that will service your requirements to make money from the Australian market. So just ring around, get a few emails, write a few emails, find a few companies that are online, and there was certainly someone that will help you out if you sort of can't get something here, and they'll be certainly willing to help you out to make some money. So
I am getting a lot of messages from people asking about scopes and everything, the horrendous price we pay in this country compared to, and we showed a few examples a few weeks ago, didn't we, Jason? And comparing exactly the same product here and overseas, and we converted the money, and you're still basically saving about 40% once you got it to your front doorstep.
Yeah. And don't forget, that's also like Cabela's price or whatever. So it's probably going to be the best of the standard retail price. But don't forget, those companies would probably be getting those firearms, scopes, whatever it may be, at a cheaper rate than obviously retail they're selling them for on the website, because they've got to make money because they're buying in bulk. So, we're even going off retail price and we're saving an absolute mozza. So, again, something to think about. And we spoke about that last week about the dollar, that, Joe Biden's going to tank the dollar. There's no doubt about it. Once the stimulus money dries up and so forth, it's going to be some bad, buyers are going to be exhausted, as they say, and shit's going to hit the fan. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, exactly. And people talking about safes here, and I get asked a bit about safes as well. Where I brought my big bank vault safe. You've seen it, Jason. And it was actually quite cheap. It was a company here in Brisbane, and they actually remove these big safes, and they spray them up to look good, and then on sell them. I think it was like $2,000 I paid for it. And the thing's an absolute beast. It's 3.5 tons. So there's no breaking into this thing. And they sell ones where if you drill through the front to get to the lock, you break a bit of glass and steel beam bars drop down and permanently lock the front off. and you got to get the guns. The guy who bought it, he's got to come with a map and cut the actual pipe so you can get your guns out. You can't get any safer than that. I'm pretty impressed, for $2,000 what I brought.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things. It looks like there's a lot of electrical people in the comments. So yes, don't do any electrical work improperly, guys. Get a contractor, unless it's a plug. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Andy, who's got a Remington 76 in pink for sale? Looking at you, Jace. Well, he doesn't have one, but do people still buy those pump action Remingtons anymore? They used to be so popular. I've got one, but I don't see a lot of them around anymore, do you?
Yeah, that's because you shoot it. You're shooting at dinner plates at like 50 meters, man. It's notoriously not the most accurate thing you've ever seen. It's more of a fun gun, but bloody hell, with the price of ammo that's keep going up. I mean, it shoots. I remember Aaron shot it one time about 5-6 years ago when we went to the farm trip, and it was like fireballs at night with this 10-shot magazine, or like 5-shot, 10-shot, whatever it was you had on it. 10-shot magazine, and it was like shooting fireballs, bang, bang, as it's sort of at night. It's interesting to see, that's for sure, but I wouldn't say it's really accurate. But I always go back to this all the time, but it'd be great for like a pig gun or something to throw on the quad. You got, again, pump action, you got multiple shots, great for that sort of, perfect for that, really, when you think about it. Throw it on the quad in a gun rack and off you go.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a video somewhere on the computer here of it that night, actually, of us shooting it at night with all the fireballs. So, guys, we got another 13 minutes. Tell us what you want to talk about. Chuck us some questions. A new topic.
What do you think? Here you go, Aaron. You've had a Marlin. I'm not sure about this one, but what do you guys think about the Marlin at Dark series? Yeah, I've never heard of that one, dude. I mean, is it a new lever action? Is it 45-70, 30-30, 44 Magnum?
I'm pretty sure they're 30-30. 30-30, and from what I understand.
Jesus, says Jay sounds like a Bunnings salesman. Bloody hell, man. Give me a break. I'm copping it tonight. Jesus Christ, Bunnings. At least I actually know what I'm talking about. Bunnings people don't know what they're talking about. No, sometimes they do.
It's just your typical Marlin. Extremely overpriced, I think, for what they are in this country. But that's most Marlins. That's just my opinion. I think they're a very expensive gun. I used to have a Rossi, and I think they were just as good as any Marlin, to be quite honest. Rossi and 44 Magnum, never had a problem with them. And they were half the price of what a Marlin is. I think you basically just pay for the name for Marlin. I wouldn't really touch them myself.
GK says, wouldn't call the 7600 a fun gun at that price point. What are they worth these days?
About 1,600, I think, something like that. And mine, I pimped it out just for the hell of it. And it's worth like $2,500 with all the crap I put on it. I think of selling mine, getting rid of it. If anyone wants to buy it, contact me. Joseph, Aaron, you have a stroke, mate. Your right eye looks like it's struggling to open properly. No, just a bit tired.
Operate properly.
Yeah. No.
He needs a new prescription on the glasses. Don't worry.
No, just a bit tired, mate. We're working.
Are you having a stroke?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't wish people having a stroke, Sherman. Come on, man.
Yeah,
the only Sherman I know was the Sherman from American Pie. Hopefully you're like him.
I just get up, crack of dawn. I'm up out of the house by 4:30 in the morning. So, pretty early.
Here we go. Epic Flyer says, what's good night vision scope? Mate, I did a podcast with a dude a couple of months ago on night vision. So check that out. I can't remember exactly. I'm just having a look here. I'll tell you what it is, Aaron, while you're bringing up another.
Well, I got these ATN 4K binoculars here, and they do all right. At night. They're not thermals, but and they've got a rangefinder in them and a compass. I think that's pretty cool. But they seem to work really well.
Episode 235, night vision and thermal device with Bastion Green. He runs a shop, specializes that in Queensland. So, episode 235. AHP, we talk about all that sort of stuff. So, check him out, man. He's got some good ideas. I didn't know a lot of this stuff. It blew my mind. A couple of times I had to stop the show to clarify a few things because I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about here in some of these aspects. I don't know the lingo. So, but once I was, squared away, it was all good. So, yeah.
Yeah.
C. Anderson, a good one here. Aaron, what shotguns are you blokes having a look at first? OU for Clays, Miraku, MK70 or MK10? I'd go the MK70. I think they're $1,700 now. They couldn't be more than that. They've gone significantly down in price. I even saw a Model 10 Grade 1 or Mark 10 Grade 1 Miraku or Moroku or Moroku, whatever, however you want to say it. Yeah, mate, under $2,000 brand new, absolute steal. I bought them for $2,400 10 years ago, or more than that now, 12 years ago when I got back into shooting. So prices haven't gone up on those. Well, actually gone down. So just, best bang for the buck by far, man, by far. It'll last you a long time if your whole life you look after it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really do clays in that. I've got a side-by-side coach gun that I absolutely love, the short barrels. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's as far as I go for the clays sort of guns. Here's a good one. Conservative sniper hunter. Here's a question for the boys. If you could buy one rifle that's legal to use if the commies invade this country, what would it be? I would buy an AR variant 223. Cheap. You hold a lot of ammo, carry a lot of ammo on you, and you can punch out a little bit further than a 22. Apart from that, I would probably just own a 22 variant semi-auto.
Yeah. I reckon a little Ruger 1020. The zombies hit, mate. The little Ruger 1022. I reckon that'd be just a little popper, light ammo. Because don't forget, people think they're running around. Like I watched, Zombieland and those sort of things. Like I had 100 rounds of 300 Win Mag, like out the other day when I was reloading, and that was like a kilo or something. It was so heavy. That's 208 grains, 100 of them. It was pretty heavy, man. So you're not going to run around with 50 boxes of shotgun shells on you. Like a slab of 10 weighs about, 5 or 6 kilos, maybe more. Who knows? So, yeah, I reckon the old Ruger 1022 be the perfect solution, I reckon.
JR reckons an AR-10. Love the AR-10, but once again, you're limited by the magazine size and the weight as well of all that ammo. That's what people got to think about, carrying ammo. It takes a lot.
Yeah, we're going to scream through them now because we haven't got long to go. Who we got? Chopper says, "G'day, crew. Just knocked off from work. What have I missed other than everything?" Yeah, go back and listen. 73. You've missed a lot. Some guy shot a couple of guys, Labradors. So that was our topic for tonight. So go back and listen. Let us know your comments after the show. We always look back at the comments and just have a look. So,
and we found out a lot of people don't like poodles.
Exactly. Good one here too. I know Aaron's probably going to let me do it. I know it's not his show, but I've got a sponsor, Camo Warehouse, the 10% off. So just a shout out to those guys. They sponsor me and, have done this year. So, and someone said, thanks a lot for the discount code 10% off. So yeah, if you go to camowarehouse.com.au, just AHP10, I think it's lowercase, or just try uppercase and lowercase or lowercase AHP1010. Get 10% off. I always tell people, why pay more when you can pay less? Well, if you're going to buy something anyway, who doesn't want to save 10%? I always like saving money. So bit of a plug there for you guys. Again, I don't get anything back from that. That just helps you guys. Doesn't help Aaron. Doesn't help me. You guys getting the discount. So, and sometimes I've even used the discount code too because I want 10% off too.
Yeah. Yep.
Rob's woodworking belt fed AR-10. Well, I mean, yeah, that's next level, man. You're willing to carry that around, Rob? When if the zombies attack, you got to run around with a big bag of belt fed. That'd be pretty hard, I reckon. That's why the old Ruger, I reckon, just saw a little Remington, little short, stubby 20-inch Remington 870. But again, it's the shells that are heavy. People don't realize, like, guys running around shooting thousands of rounds. Like, how are you carrying that? Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, exactly. Chris did ask here, where is it? Jace done a Berica review. Jace hasn't, but I have. So you'll see a Berica review on my channel. So on this channel. But Jason hasn't. I have.
I don't do reviews, man. I talk about my own guns sometimes on the YouTube channel, but I always said I don't have the patience like Aaron does because, apparently everyone's a professional that knows everything about the gun that don't even own it. So I just leave that stuff to other people. Just talk about the guns that I've got. So But yeah, I mean, Colin Penfold says here looking to getting another single barrel shotgun of Stevens. He spotted going very cheap, mate. Yeah, the little single shots. I used to know a guy used to come and shoot clays with a single shot, mate. He loved it, mate. That thing used to just clip over and it'd fold down. I can't remember what it was called, but geez, that was a good little pop of that thing.
Well, we talked about this before. I know a guy who goes and shoots clay contests, and he uses a $500 escort, and he's kicking ass against guys who have their $10,000 wank guns. And with a $500 plastic escort.
Doesn't always affect ability, so put it that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, it's not like rifles you look through the scope. A lot of it's feeling. What's the word I'm thinking of, Aaron? When you shoot shotgun, what's the feeling? It's just you're pointing a shotgun, you're not aiming it. So again, a lot of different things. A lot of people haven't.
What goes along your sort of senses and muscle reflex, muscle memory. Well, here we go. Here, you can read this one out, Jason.
Yeah, we've heard enough about Jason's Tikas. I never mentioned it tonight. I've not mentioned it, but I do like the new Bagaras. I'm going to do a really review on that once I get that out this year. I am doing a bit of deer hunting at the moment, going to my parents next week, so there's a lot on over the next couple of weeks. But once I get to that 208 grain ELD match, I'm really keen to get that out and really give it a good run. I've had it for like 7 months now, and I've got everything loaded. I'm ready to go, but it's just going to take a bit of time. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and testing out the PRC rounds again once this bloody rain stops and goes.
Well, let's hope it's not going to be bullets again, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain Caveman, hey guys, how's it going? Just arrived late. Welcome, Captain Caveman. Yeah, mate, you've missed a lot. Go back and watch the stream again. We'd love you to. We talked a lot tonight, so yeah.
Yeah, mate, it's just people talking amongst themselves, really.
Whoever, I'm just trying to find out where that comment goes. Sorry, it just says Jason's new Tika. No, man. I mean, I've got a fair few of those too. I just think they're a good price, man. Those new Bagaras, I just really do. I think they're going to be a good front runner coming forward over the next couple of years, especially with some of their guns they've got coming out. Based on Remington 700 action, you can't go wrong, I don't think. But there's a lot of good guns out there at the moment, guys. Depends how much money you got to spend.
Exactly. And here's Rob of China Invades Australia. Would the government overturn the NFA and let us have semi-autos? Highly unlikely, because if we're getting invaded, I don't think they would have time to overturn gun laws. I think the politicians will run for the hills, and it's us to fend for ourselves, I reckon.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, only if you're joining the organisations that are going to stand up for you. So if you're not going to join the organisations that are standing up for you, and again, we're not going to say who they are. You know the ones that are and the ones that aren't. Don't waste your time with the ones that aren't. They're there to get the cash and the genuine reasons and all that sort of stuff. But it's all right if they use the money wisely. But join the ones that are anyway. Put it that way. And we talk about it a lot, so you guys know what we're talking about. Matt Cato's still making Swarovski Z3s. Yes, I was looking at a Z5, but I got offered one today, a Z5, 3 to 1844 illuminated, but I don't like the big illuminated battery on the top of at the back of the scope. So that was ballistic turret. So I'm thinking I'm going to get I think it's 2.4 to 12 by 50 BT in the 4AW reticle. But yeah, they still do make them. Just very hard to get at the moment. And I know a couple of guys, so I've normally got sort of not first pick, but so they come to the shop, they hold them. If I want something, hold them. So my guy actually called me today and I said, I don't like that battery on top. The illuminated in the Swaros, sorry, just not my cup of tea. So I have to wait until mine comes. But yeah, good scopes. Yeah, no problem. Lacking behind, I think, a little bit on the long range shooting area, but for hunting, can't go wrong with those ballistic turrets, man.
Yep. Yeah, Alex, what's the best straight ball shotgun on the market, boys? Well, I'll get asked this a lot. I reckon they've all come a very long way since the very first ones that coming out that we used to always jam. But yeah, the Berica, the Predator, and the MH12 are the three that, and the Sulan are the four ones that I seem to have no problems with. All depends on your styling and how heavy you want to go and what you're going to use it for. The MH12s and awesome fun gun, but it is a big big heavy gun. A lot of fun.
Exactly.
There you go, Jason.
Oh, you fellas watch Hunting with Stu. Dude's a legend. He even hunts from a kayak. I'd team up with him if there was a zombie apocalypse. I think I've seen some guy on the internet hunting from there's a video floating around on Facebook, a dude, maybe an orange or yellow kayak, I think. There's so many people making YouTube videos these days. A lot of guys out there making some really bloody good content, guys. So yeah, man, we'll check it out on the internet. I know, I think I saw one of kayak. It rings a bell anyway, but I don't know people's names, unfortunately, by their names. Sometimes I do. So if I talk to them regularly, I've interviewed them, I do. But if I haven't interviewed them, sometimes I don't. But yeah, we'll check it out, man. We always love good. I like watching hunting videos, but and some new ones have been coming up on YouTube too, guys. A lot of guys are making a few hunting videos, which is great. So. Yeah.
Well, Hootie, our friend, he'll be on the show in a couple of weeks, guys. Everyone asked for Hootie to be back, so he's coming on. Probably the week Jason won't be here. He's keen on coming back and talking to you guys. He's been doing more and more hunting videos as well.
Exactly.
Dickinson would be nice. You got a Dickinson, haven't you? How did you find yours? Because I've actually filmed the review about 6 months ago, and I don't think I've put it out yet or even edited it. And I had a lot of problems with the Dickinson.
Never had a problem. I just think for the pig stuff, I reckon it's fantastic. Not that I've shot pigs with it, but that's where it would work. On the duck fields and that, like down in the Riverina, the duck on the rice. Yeah, the Jan worked flawlessly, no problem. But I just don't think the straight pull was great for wing shooting. I really don't. I just still reckon the under and over is a better option for that. And if I had my time over, if you're right-handed, get the left-handed version, because I find if you shoot from right-handed and you move your arm, your shoulder moves forward, and you've got to get back onto the trigger. Whereas if you go bang, if you're right-handed, you get the left-handed version, so you don't take your finger off the trigger. If you're right-handed, get the left-handed version. If you're left-handed, get the right-handed version. But anyway, mate, that's probably it, man. 9:02. So we probably got to finish off. And before we do that, guys, we haven't seen the thumbs up on the video. You ungrateful buggers, get down there and give us a like on the thing. And thanks for a great live stream. I always enjoy doing these. It's like a family. It's building up every week. Can't go wrong. Fan-bloody-tastic. And,
And, guys, remember, go and sign up to the NSC to become a genuine reason, especially if your membership from the other organisations are up. Go and sign up with the NSC for your reasons in Victoria, Queensland and New South Wales. So it's been a great night, guys. Really appreciate you joining and have a fantastic and safe week. And, yes, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up and share this video. Would really appreciate it. And once the video is finished, get down in the comments section and give us a comment. It helps with the algorithm. And these are just getting bigger and bigger every week now. So all your comments must be doing something, because we seem to be going further up in the list, which is fantastic. So, guys, have a great week, and we will see you in 7 days' time. Good night.